Namaste Yogis, welcome to my channel. My name is Nabila. Today we will be practicing a hipopeningyoga sequence, and today's sequence is mostly performed with seated and supine poses while stretching our hamstrings, quadriceps and the piriformis muscles. So let's start by sitting at the corner of our mat. Now stretch your legs completely out while extending the spine and taking support with the palms on the floor, making a beautiful L shape with your entire body. Now seated here in our Dandasana or staff pose, let's take 6 rounds of breathing and close your eyes while feeling the breath and the movement of the body. Stretch your legs out, feeling the muscles open up at the hamstrings and the back of your knees. One more breath. Alright, now still be seated on your Dandasana. Now inhale and place the left hand over the knees or the shin, and while exhaling, twist the torso towards the right side of your body, while stretching the right arm behind you in a gentle twist of the spine and the upper body. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale, try to twist a little bit more. And breathe. With each breath, we go deeper with the twist. Here, the opening of the base of the spine along with the middle and the upper back is essential to gradually work on the opening of our hips. Beautiful. Now inhale and release and come back to the center. And with one more inhalation, twist towards the left side of your body while placing your right arm over the knees or the shin and stretching your left arm behind you. And breathe here. Make sure the hamstrings and the quadriceps open with every exhalation. The benefits of this twist helps to open the hips and the lower back faster, while also activating the muscles close to the hips and the upper legs. Breathe beautifully here. One more deep inhale and exhale. And with your next inhalation, come back to your center. And relax. Now bring your legs to bend at the knees and place the soles of your foot close to each other while resting the thighs and the knees on the floor. Now let's hold the feet with your palms and stretch the spine while feeling the stretch at the inner thighs and the outer hips close to the upper hamstrings. This pose with every exhalation should be focused on pushing the thighs closer to the floor. So sit here closing your eyes for about 4 breaths. So let's close our eyes and start to breathe. The opening of the inner thighs along with the outer hamstrings acts as a great way to open the muscles close to our hips. One more breath here. Very good. Now inhale and place the right hand on the left knee, and as you exhale while still seated in your Baddha Konasana, turn with the torso towards the left, twisting the shoulders and your head too. This twisting pose helps to flex the lower part of our spine, slowly opening our hip. The stronger the spine and the muscles around the spine helps you to flex the hips easier. Don't forget to breathe here. Inhale and settle yourself in this pose. And exhale, try to twist a little bit further. With inhalation, we lengthen, and with exhalation, we are going deeper. One more breath here. And then release, coming to the center. And taking another breath, place the left arm over the left knee. And as you exhale, twist towards the right side, flexing the shoulders and your neck. Stay here and don't forget to breathe. Feel the stretch at the base of your spine and your hips. One more breath. Beautiful. Now come back to your center. Now inhale and stay here in your simple Baddha Konasana pose and taking a few breaths while extending the spine upwards. So we are sitting here with our spine tall and breathing. Gentle breathing, or you can go deeper if that feels good for you. Very good. Now inhale and stretch the entire torso upwards, and as you exhale, take the torso forward, reaching for the floor with the chest and the face in Baddha Konasana or bound angle forward bend pose. Let's stay here stretching with every exhalation along with the arms, and use the base of your spine to go forwards while pulling the belly deep in tightening the abdominal muscles. Feel the stretch on your hamstrings and your lower back. Awesome, guys. Now, after stretching the spine and the torso forward while seated in our Baddha Konasana Uttanasana, now release and bring the legs to stretch to be seated in our Dandasana again. So your legs are extended at the front of your mat now. Palms are beside you over your mat. Spine tall and breathe. Now inhale and stretch the spine, and as you exhale, go forward to take the torso towards the thighs and the knees in Paschimottanasana. In seated forward bend pose. Let's remain here in this forward bend pose for about 6 breaths or more, and with each exhalation, stretch deep towards the hand forwards. It's really okay if you can't touch your forehead towards your knees or towards your thighs. Just feel the stretch to the spine. Very good. Now release and come back to your seat in Dandasana. Now bring the left leg bending at the knee and placing the left leg on the floor while placing the left foot close to the right side of your hip. So exhale and bring the right leg bending at the knee while placing it over the left thigh and resting the outer foot on the floor close to the left side of your hips. We are sitting in our Gomukhasana variation 2 or pelvis pose variation 2. Now for about 3 breaths, feel the stretch at the upper hips close to the hip joint and the hamstrings. You can keep your palms together in front of your chest. Now while seated here, push the right thigh closer towards the left thigh while contracting the inner thigh muscles and the hip muscles. This pose, while squeezing the thighs, puts pressure on the upper leg close to our hips, creating a sense of opening and flexing the various muscles around the upper legs and hips. I bet you can feel that already now. Focus on the stretching of the spine upwards. You can close your eyes to feel and focus more in this position. Now open your eyes and let's take the stretch further. So place the left arm on the floor, bending at the hips, and as you exhale, using the support of the hand on the right knee, twist the shoulder and the head, looking upwards towards the right. Taking the body in our cow face pose variation, side stretch pose. Feel the stretch at the lower right side of your thighs. Remain here taking slow breaths. Make sure the positioning of the elbows on the floor towards the left is comfortable. It's a very good side stretch to open the muscles around the hips and our lower back. Beautiful. Now come back to your center. Inhale and stretch the left leg out in your half Dandasana while the right leg is still placed on the left thigh. Extending the left leg out, exhale and place both the elbows on the floor while stretching the torso to go in a forward bend, reaching for the right knee with the face and your chest. Let's remain here and breathe. Going steady with the breathing to be seated in our Ardha Gomukhasana variation. This forward bend pose extends the lower back, making the muscles strong, thus giving us a good support for our hips and for our upper legs. Pushing the torso deep downwards, press the chest close towards the thighs and the knee to feel the stretch at the hamstrings and your hips. Beautiful. Now release from your half cow pose. Bring the thighs to interlock, placing the left thigh over the right thigh to the seat in our simple Gomukhasana pose or our cow face pose. So here inhale and place the right arm on the floor towards the right side, just like we did on the other side. Now your right arm is close to your hips. While exhaling, twist the shoulders and the head, go into Gomukhasana variation side stretch. And sit here feeling the stretch and breathe here. Make sure the pose is comfortable and is not causing any tightness around the neck or your hips. One more breath. Beautiful. Now release and take a breath while stretching the right leg out in front of you. while still placing the left thigh in our half cow pose. So placing the elbows on the floor in front of you, exhale and go forward with a stretch, reaching for the knee with the face and your chest in Ardha Gomukhasana variation forward bend pose. Remain here and don't forget to breathe. Breathe is everything in yoga. Awesome, yogis. Now release from your forward bend in cow pose. Bring both of your feet to the floor and sit in our garland pose or our malasana, the yogic squat. So inhale and press the feet firm on the floor while placing the elbows deep inside of your thighs, pushing the thighs outward to feel the stretch at your inner thighs and hips. Balancing the body on the feet, push the hips towards the floor while still not touching the floor with the hips to stay for about 5 breaths. The pushing of the thighs and the pushing of the hips towards the floor is creating a stretching of the inner hamstring muscles and also in our piriformis muscles. This deep stretch opens the hips, making it strong with the expansion of the various muscles in our body. Very beautiful pose in yoga. Beautiful. Now from our malasana, place the right foot on the floor while bending the right knee and stretch the left leg out completely behind you, placing the left knee on the floor to take the body in our Anjaneyasana twist pose. So pushing the belly towards the right thigh, exhale and place the left hand on the floor, and as you exhale, twist your torso and the head while stretching the right arm above your shoulder to look upwards. The deep stretch at the outer right hamstrings and the outer right hip should be felt while breathing is easy and slow. Let's stay here for about 3 breaths. Push the belly lower to feel the twist at the lower back and your chest. This pose of low lunge twist poses support of the knee on the floor, helps to open the hips here deeper while opening the upper legs and your lower back also. Now consider to be a bit of challenge, make sure the alignment of the right knee and the right foot is perfect while the twisting of the hips and the torso is done carefully with breathing. Beautiful. Now let's take the deep hip opening pose to the next level. Inhale and place the left elbow on the floor in front of you. And as you exhale, place the right hand on the inside of your right knee while twisting the torso and the head towards the right in our twisted dragon pose or our twisted lizard pose. Stay here, breathing slow, making sure the head and the neck is comfortable. Push your thighs outward with your right hand. The deep stretch of your inner thigh muscles and the lower back should give a great support to the hips while also flexing them easily. Alright, now from the twisted dragon pose, comfortably place the right thighs on the floor while the left leg is stretched out behind you, and sit on the right hips to go into our pigeon pose. Seated here, pressing the right thigh towards the floor, exhale and take the lower back in a slight back bend while feeling the stretch at the lower right side of the hips and the left hamstrings. Balance well on the thighs and make sure the leg stretched behind is comfortable on the floor. Breathe here, slowly inhaling and taking the chest out and the shoulders behind to take the spine in a slight bend. I can already feel the opening of my hips here along with the lower back. Flexing the muscles deeper to improve the flexibility of the hips and the lower back. The pigeon pose is considered a good way to encourage the hips to open while also placed comfortable on the floor. Beautiful guys, now let's release from our pigeon pose and again come into your malasana to take the pose for about 5 breaths here. Relaxing our hips and the legs to same extent. So your hips will not be touching the floor. Push your thighs away with your elbows. Palms are together in front of your heart. And breathe. Beautiful guys. Now releasing from our malasana, bring the left foot on the floor while bending our left knee and stretch the right leg behind you, placing the right knee on the floor. Inhale and place the right hand on the floor close to the right foot. While exhaling, take the left arm above your shoulders and your head and then gaze upwards towards your left. Stretch here and remain in this Anjaneyasana twisted pose. And don't forget to breathe again. Feel the stretch at the lower and the outer left hamstrings and the upper left hamstrings. One more breath. And then inhale and place the right elbow on the floor and pushing the right knee outward with your left hand. Exhale and twist the shoulder and the head towards the left, gazing upwards. Stay here in our twisted dragon pose, or you can say the lizard pose, for about 3 breaths and watch for the stretch deep at the hips while also using the abdominal muscles to go deeper with the twist. Beautiful. Now from our twisted dragon pose, comfortably place the left thighs on the floor while the right leg is stretched out behind you and sit on the left hips to go into our pigeon pose. Seated here, pressing the left thigh towards the floor, exhale and take the lower back in a slight back bend while feeling the stretch at the lower left side of the hips and right hamstrings. Balance well on the thighs again and make sure the leg is stretched behind, is comfortable on our floor or our yoga mat. Breathe here. Slow inhale and slow exhale. With inhale, taking the chest out and the shoulders behind to take the spine into our slight back bend. One more breath. Beautiful. Now release from our pigeon pose. Bring the legs to bend at the knees And slowly place the soles of our feet together while resting the thighs on the floor. Now pressing the thighs closer to the floor and the soles closer to each other, sit in our Baddha Konasana, our bound angle pose. So stretching the spine while making sure the thighs are rested well on our yoga mat or on the floor. Let's breathe here, closing our eyes and watch the breath. Release all the tension around the hips and the lower back while seated here in Baddha Konasana. Now releasing from the seated bound angle pose, exhale and go to rest on the spine and on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana pose. So making sure the entire back is on the floor, press the thighs towards the floor while still pressing the soles of our foot together. Resting the arms on the floor beside the hips. Let's breathe here for a while, closing our eyes and relax the body while close to the ground. While still in supine and in Supta Baddha Konasana, exhale and place the right foot on the floor besides the left knee, while the left thigh is resting in half bound angle pose. Placing the arms on your floor or your yoga mat, place the entire foot on the floor, feeling the stretch at the right hamstrings and the right hip. Stay here for about 3 breaths. Feel the stretch in the inner right thighs too, while you feel the stretch at your lower right hip and back. The slight twist at the hips, though relaxing, is also a good way to open up the muscles around the lower back, giving a room for a flexible and a strong hip. You can also take the head towards the right side to get extra stretch at the upper back. Beautiful. Now inhale and stretch the left leg, releasing from your Baddha Konasana, and take the right leg towards the left side to be placed on the floor while holding it with your left hand. So go like this. Inhale and release while going back to our Supta Baddha Konasana. And let's take 4 rounds of breathing, ensuring the lower back and the hips are close to our yoga mat or the floor. Now inhale and place the left foot on the floor towards the right side, close to the outer right thighs to go into our Supta Ardha Gurmukhasana. Now pushing the left knee and the left foot firm to feel the stretch at the left hamstrings and the left side of our lower back. Remain here for a few breaths. Again, you can gaze center, or to get an extra stretch, gaze towards the left side, turning the head. Now releasing from the variation of our Supta Baddha Konasana, inhale and stretch the right leg out while placing it on the floor. Stay here while gazing towards the opposite side, that is towards the left. Don't forget to breathe, flexing the base of your spine and the hips. The fact is, these supine stretches with a lot of twists encourages the increase in the flow of our blood at the base of our spine, while also improving the flexibility of the lower back and our hips. So this is why it is essential to start with some twists which are simple and then going deeper with the stretch. Beautiful. Now come back to your center. So release from your Supta Baddha Konasana variation, bring the feet on the floor while bending the legs, and as you exhale, raise the legs off the floor and press the thighs towards the chest and the abdomen using the support of the hands, ensuring the head and the shoulders are placed comfortably on the floor. Press the knees towards the chest with every exhalation. Let's take 12 rounds of breath here and make sure the hips are stretched while supporting the base of the spine. Now place the hands on the floor beside you. Begin a slow and deep breathing, watching the expansion and the contraction of the abdomen and your chest. Relaxing all the limbs while closing your eyes. Slowly taking the mind through the entire body, connecting the breath. Slowly release and relax from the tips of the toes to the crown of your head. You can extend your legs to the corner of your mat, or you can stay in this constructive rest pose or the Savasana variation bent legs for about 12 breaths, ensuring the base of your spine is close to the floor while releasing the stress at the hips and your legs. If you feel like staying here more, you can do that. And if you are feeling ready to get back from your pose, then join me with a seated position at the center of your mat. Close your eyes, bring your palms to your heart center. Chin is slightly down towards your chest. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Again inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. And let's bow down to release our egos and thank ourselves for showing up on our mat today. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time. Namaste.